Hello everyone, and I'm thankful to the chair and the organizers for having me here. So, feel a little bit sleepy because my flight was at 5 a.m. in the morning. So, but anyway, so let's start and understand what exactly we are trying to, think on the water and agriculture. So, since morning we have a lot of presentation talking about different aspects, which made my job a little bit easier. Because now I don't have to start from the basic, neither I have to go. I just had a very eminent talk from Man Singh sir and then Sudhir sir. Sudhir sir falls under a category where we are already working in Kerala with IDRB department on a couple of projects. So I just want to discuss a couple of stats. However, I don't believe in it. I will say why. But let's first understand what exactly people are saying, what exactly happening on the landscape right now. So the climate change, we are saying that the events which are either flood or drought are increasing in number. They are going high and we are witnessing it. Not only in India, even talk about West world countries, first world country, last world country. Everywhere you see this trend rising. We have more floods, we have more drought. The reason, climate change. Can you go to the next slide? And then the danger comes here. With this climate change, what's happening, that couple of crops have more yield and most of the crops has less yield. So if you see this chart, the first bar set shows the incremental growth in the yield. So if you see the industrial revolution, when we had GMOs and all those things coming up, we have fastened our production, which was required because we have to feed massive number of people, so we need more crop yield. For that we need more irrigation system. And then agriculture we have to understand. Agriculture is a solution and a problem in itself. Agriculture is one of the major greenhouse gas emitters. So on one side we need agriculture to feed ourselves. On the other side it contributes to the global warming as well. So we have to be very careful when we talk about agriculture and irrigation because it's interweaved with a much bigger problem which we'll see coming up. However, I don't believe in this stat as well. I will tell you again on the slide. Go next. This is the situation of India. What's happening in India? That couple of crops have started declining in their yield per acre. Couple of crops have seen growth and couple of crops had been average. There had been no significant change. But the problem is on the other side of the chart. That's the rivers of India. All the major rivers. The last one which you see, the all green is the Brahmaputra. Except Brahmaputra river, every river has a dry period. Every river had some problems. And yes, I think Prerna has already spoke about Ganga river feeding 45 crore people of India. That's the massive, the biggest in this chain. So I think she already covered up, so no need to go in detail. But what we are trying to say here with this help of this chart, that with the change in climate, with our more irrigation demands, we are really putting a stress on the ecosystem. The first thing which Man Singh sir has spoke about, that we are not a water deficit. Yes, but at a global scale. But water, if we think about it, water is not available in time and space. What I mean by saying time and space, I need water to drink now, but it's not here right now. It's there, might be somewhere outside. That's the space. And in time means I want to drink water in night, but that's there in the morning, not in the night. Similar things happens for agriculture. So say for example, all of we are stuck in traffic, right? We get delayed sometime due to traffic and we say, okay, we stuck in traffic and we got late. Have any of you ever heard that a crop has been late or delayed? I think Sudhir sir has spoke very good project, micro irrigation project, but Kerala is mostly in plantation. So plantation is still delay fruiting and those kind of thing happens. But when we talk about crop, especially our rice, millets, but all these crops, there is no delay, there is a loss. The reason, their life cycle is defined. It means starting from the seed till the final harvest, every step is very well defined. They are defined in terms of the weeks and hours, everything. So that can't be delayed. They will die. Can you go to the next slide, please? So now what we are trying to see here, if we see this particular chart, this is basically UN SDG chart made by some other consultants. What exactly we are saying here is the nexus of water, food and energy. Now you have to understand it. Water itself is water which we need to drink and survive for our daily purpose, domestic purposes, right? And then water is required for food also. And then water is required for energy also. Even our country has put a deadline that we have to cut down our emissions in future to going to the net zero. How will we achieve it? By there are two facts which I will take from the previous speakers and put some light, and then I will wrap it up my presentation for the next part where we talk about solution. So let's understand the agriculture consumes 80% of water, but why? Why this stat is true? If you see globally, this stat is not true. If you go towards developed nation like USA, Canada, the water consumption of agriculture is hardly 20 to 35%. Somewhere even it's less. Why it happens in India? Or any country which is primarily agrarian, we see that the water consumption is more than 75%, rain somewhere up to 90%. The reason is the rain-fed agriculture, what Man Singh sir had said. And when rain falls, it falls on your field, farm field. The more rains falls on the farm field, and when we do the statistical calculations, we see most of the rainwater is going into agriculture. That's one side of looking into it. Now let's other side of reservoir allocation. If we see on the reservoir allocation, we might feel some different picture. There are canal, but how much command is in India? Sir has just illustrated very well. We are pretty much behind it. Network is not there. So now the understanding here is that we have to fulfill the water demand for the biological need, for our societal need, for our economical need. Any of this has a very high consequences on the overall growth of the economy. Can we go to the next slide, please? And now to achieve this, what we can do? Saying more crop per drop is a fancy word. I will refrain myself from saying that, but it's a good vision. It's a good vision to have. How to achieve that vision? For that we need technology. Why technology? Because see, everywhere we see technology, it has reformed it. And that's why I wouldn't believe any of those stats which I shown earlier, because the prophecies were never correct. Somebody said that the world will go out of oil. Somebody said world will go out of food, out of water. Delhi will go out of groundwater by 2020. Is it true? We are in Delhi, right? It's 2022, still we have groundwater. So the problem with the prophecies are, they are targeted for future, looking at the past, having the current tools and technology. They never account for innovations. And the innovations are happening. Say the whole IT world, say the whole digital twin system, how it's happening. It's had completely revamped the whole ecosystem, how we're going to function. Like the mobile network, road, highways, all these projects, your ERP, your banking systems, everything is performing in a very high capacity because we have digital influence in those systems. And to fight with the climate change issue in the agriculture, we have to bring that element here. That's the solution, the way I think it, from my perspective, how we are doing it, how we are studying it. Because that will bring transparency. The assessing crop risk is the first part. You can understand the crop risk at a large scale. From satellite imagery, per day, per week, every month, you can understand what is happening right now on the ground. And then you can really think about your canal productivity. Do I need to give water today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow? And then you can do the river interlinking plan very sufficiently. How to plan, how to network, how to connect the rivers, how to transfer the waters. And tap the flood water, very important thing. When we have floods, flood is extra water. We have seen from the previous session, we understand this now. It's a runoff which is not captured. So how to capture it? It's not the science is with us from thousands of years. All ancient time, especially go to Kerala and Tamil Nadu, you will find the connected tanks. All the kings have been made that thing. You have big tanks connected with gullies and then finally connected to multi-level reservoirs which stores the water. So technology is now enabling us to do it in the real time. Can you go to the next slide, please? And with that, we have to think about the digital twin of our irrigation system. I will come to the rain-fed system also. Can you go next? And the example of digital twin, what digital twin does. Digital twin helps you. I think this video is not running. Can you just click one more time? This should play. Okay, anyway, let's forget about that. So it basically gives you understanding at the last mile. It means in the farm which crop it's sown, how much water it needs right now. And based on that, Varabandi means you have to release the water in a sequential order so that every farm can receive that water. So how to schedule it. And then ultimately planning at reservoir level. It means you are planning with the community, like Sudhir sir had said. You are involving community to understand, then you are planning your water release, and then ultimately you are designing all those things at the reservoir level. Can you go to the next slide? And then we have to understand the lift scheme. So when you're talking about the lifting water from one river to other river, this is what's happening right now in the Telangana. They have a Pranita river on the last side. On the other side of the screen you can see. And other side is Godavari river. Godavari river never brings the water because of the intervention happening in the Maharashtra. And then Pranita rivers have a flood water which ultimately goes to Godavari and then goes to the Arabian Sea. What exactly we are doing there, that you lift the water during monsoon and spread it across multiple reservoirs in the Telangana to store the water. So that's an 8 gigawatt electricity project. It's like half of the electricity requirement of Delhi for a day. Then optimizing this situation by understanding, because you are lifting water in the monsoon, the wrong lift, you will create a massive flood. The wrong lift, you don't have a water for the next season. Going next slide. And then when you are lifting the water, or even if you are not lifting the water, talking about the rain-fed irrigation when you have to transport the water. So everywhere when there is economic tag associated with the water, you need to measure it. We see that measurement is required. So here with the new technology, we can understand the farm, each farm, and each farm level we can understand how much water that needs. Obviously that can be used for billing or no billing, that's a matter of policy and politics, not going into details. But the technology helps us doing that now. Can we go next? And if we can't do anything, that's a severe situation, then technology also allows us to see the drought coming ahead of its time so that we can plan our rural employment. Can we go next? Yeah. So with that, I will conclude with the statement that technology is the key to transform. We are transforming it. Earlier, the computation power was not there because of a lot of constraints like satellite data cost, your computing cost, AI, GPUs cost, cloud cost. Now it has been reduced significantly. We are already deploying the solution at various central state level, and we can see the digital transformation and digital twin concept for our water resources system are the way forward, enabling the resilience in our water resources. Thank you.